Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Alicia. I post new videos every Thursday, primarily on Tumblr tutorials, but I do other things like reviews and how-tos. So when you're done watching this video, jump back on my channel and check out some of the other things I've done. All right, so this week I am going to show you how to wrap a Dollar Tree gift bag around a cup. Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of wraps lately, and I just really mainly want to show you all the different things that you can use to decorate a cup. So yeah, Dollar Tree gift store bag or gift bag, so easy, so fun, and you can actually get like a few different kinds of things decorated with the same bag. So if you're interested to see how I did this and what I came up with, stick around and I'm going to go ahead and get started. All right guys, so here's the bag. It's super cute. It was in with like the spring, summer, Easter stuff. So the first thing I am going to do is take off the handles, and they're not attached by glue or anything like that. They just like put them through the holes and have these little doohickeys that catch in the back side. So I take them out, and then I am going to take off the little hanger because there's a plastic hanger because they're hanging up usually. This one actually was just like laying in the line, and I grabbed it last minute, to be honest with you. So it was like just sitting there by itself. I'm like, oh, it looks so pretty, so I grabbed it. All right, so I'm measuring this out, and the cup that I'm using is 8 inches high by like 9.4 around. So I measured the bag, make sure that it is long enough, and it is 12. I believe it was 12, so it'll definitely reach around. So I'm going to cut this bag up, and I'm going to basically cut the section that I'm going to use off first. And then later on, I'm going to cut the rest of the bag up. But I want to make sure that I'm using a big piece that has no creases in it. And I really like the orange top part, so I am definitely going to incorporate that into this cup. And so I get it cut out, and then I'm going to measure around and decide, this is when I decide that I want to do the orange at the top. And so then what I'll do is just cut off the bottom. So up at the top, you see there's that fold. So I do take that fold off and cut at the top line. And so I'm using a cutting mat with a straight edge and my craft knife to cut this nice and straight right on the line, because my paper cutter like just doesn't even work anymore. It like kind of took a crap on me. So this is what I'm using to cut this, and this is an option if you don't have a cutting board. All right, so I wrap this around the cup for measurement purposes, making sure that it's wrapped nice and tight, and then I'm going to cut off that excess. All right, so now that I got that piece cut out and it measured up really nice, I'm going to put this aside, and I decided that I'm going to use, and that's actually not the color I'm going to use. I wound up using a different color, which I will show you later on. So I'm going to put that aside real quick, and I cut up 2 more pieces to wrap around a Jack Daniel's bottle. I think this is going to look really cute. So I'm going to glue 2 sides to each other because I want you to be able to see the paper in the like if you're looking in the Jack Daniel's bottle, because it's glass and it's clear, and you're gonna be able to see the back side of this. So I glued these 2 pieces together so that when I wrap it around and you look in the glass bottle, you're gonna see the flowers too, which kind of rendered moot later on because I wound up like hazing out the bottle, so you can't really see it entirely. But I was changing things up as I go, and I do that a lot. So I'm just going to glue these together with Mod Podge, make sure the ends are sealed down really nice. You got to work quickly with Mod Podge if you're not familiar with it. It's a glue. It's a little bit different than Elmer's glue, and it dries really fast. So you got to work quickly and just make sure those edges are sealed down really nice, and then put that aside to dry completely. All right, back to the cup. Sorry, I do bounce back and forth a lot because like when things are dry and then I work on the other things. So I'm going to take that paper and I'm going to use my makeup brush that I got at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put the Mod Podge on the paper, and I am going to roll it around the cup. I'm going to do it in sections because like I said before, Mod Podge dries pretty quick, so you don't want it dry. You don't want your paper drying before you get it all the way around the cup. So make sure you just do small sections at a time, roll it up like that, and press it down. Make sure your seams are nice and flat. And then you're going to go over this cup with two coats of Mod Podge. I always do 2 coats. So one, I don't know. I feel like I probably miss stuff if I do just one. So 2 is really the magic number. Some people go ahead and do 3. I definitely found that I didn't need 3. I've done 3 in the past with other projects like fabric cups and stuff, and I felt like 2 was enough. 3 was not really necessary. All right, so I'm going to use this painter's tape on here and my X-Acto knife to cut a straight edge, making sure my seam is nice and straight. I'm not really good at this, and it wasn't as straight as I wanted it. It's really hard to cut a nice seam. Like I've tried doing the painter's tape, that didn't work really well, although it did bring the excess up with it, so that was kind of cool. And I've also tried using like a metal ruler, and it's really hard to balance the cup even when I have it like on a cup holder, or yeah, that's what you want to call it, a cup holder. I just can't seem to get it really, really straight. So that's my bad, but that's why I try to cut the paper like closer to size, because I'm not like off of the cup, because I'm not really good at it. All right, so here I go. I'm going to go in with my first coat of Mod Podge, the entire cup. So I did paint the bottom orange. I forgot, I didn't show you that because it was just a little spray paint at the bottom. You can use acrylic paint if you want. I use spray paint because it's just faster and it dries quick. But I'm going to coat the entire bottom, sealing that paper to the cup. Now the top is a little uneven, and I'm going to show you later how I'm going to fix that. So I set that off to the side. That is drying. Here's my Jack Daniels bottle, which I have taken all the labels off. And now I'm going to wrap the paper around, doing the same exact thing. I am going to Mod Podge it to the bottle. But this is a little bit stiffer because it is actually 2 papers glued together. So I'm going to do a section at a time, but then I'm going to have to like tape it together until it dries completely, because it will lift before the Mod Podge dries. So I'm going to put a nice thick layer on. I'm going to hold that down and go around, as you can see I'm doing. And then you'll see when I tape it together. All right, jumping back to the cup. This is dry. It's got its 2 coats on. I'm going to trim the top, and with the scissors, which probably wasn't the best way to do that. I probably should have just left that little bit of overhang for me to epoxy and then sand down a little bit later, so don't do that. All right, so this is coat number 2 for this Mod Podge, and that is drying. I'm going to go back to the bottle, which is dry, and put its first coat of Mod Podge on there. And once I got the 2 coats on and it's dry, I cut out these pin striping out of this lime green glitter vinyl that I got from Any Up Graphic Supply. Super cute. I absolutely love it. And then I've got these Rhinestone Sheets that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I just put it down this seam because I didn't really like this seam. So I take this outside. I taped it, or I papered up the bag, or the flowers and stuff, and I went in and I sprayed like a matte spray paint. I actually used a glow in the dark because I couldn't find my matte, and I couldn't find my my frosting. And this is where I changed it up a little bit. Like I said, like it was supposed to be clear glass, and then I decided to spray this on and sprinkle some diamond dust. I think it was diamond dust that I used around to give it like a shimmer. So this spray paint is like it's a glow in the dark, and when you put it on a glass surface, it comes out like a green, like a very light green haze. But I only did one coat, so you don't see that green color. You just see how it's like frosted now. It's a frosted look. So once I got that glitter on, I am going to spray it with a semi-gloss clear. So trying to retain a little bit of that haze, but making sure that it doesn't dull the glitter too. So I do the top and the bottom like this, and I do 1 coat of glitter and 2 coats of spray. So you're still going to feel the glitter. It's not going to be a very smooth surface, but it is going to be coated and it's not going to come off in your hands. So while the bottle is outside drying, I am going to do the bottom of the cup. And so this is nice and dry. It's been drying for a couple hours. It's got 2 coats of Mod Podge. I'm going to Mod Podge the bottom and use the color Creamsicle to coat the bottom. And I am going to do 2 coats of the glitter. I'm not going to show you 2 coats. I'm only going to show you the one. All right, once my 2 coats of glitter is dry, I'm going to come in and I'm going to seal it with some semi-gloss clear spray, 2 coats of that so that the glitter doesn't move when I go in to do my first set of epoxy, or my first layer of epoxy, which I am doing right now. And so I mixed up 20 mLs of epoxy, and it didn't need more than that because it was really, I'm not coating the whole cup, the whole cup of glitter, just the bottom is glitter. So 20 mLs was just what I needed to get this nice and coated. The glitter was in place. It didn't travel up, although it looks like it did because the bag itself had some glitter on there. So that's something I forgot to mention. It had its own glitter, which I sealed in with that Mod Podge. So make sure you torch for bubbles and then let that go for, so I use quick set, so it's going to go for a couple of hours. All right, so while that's going, I'm going to work back again on this bottle. And so I'm taking all the paper off, and you can see that it's sort of like hazy. Now back to the cup, which this has been turning for a couple of hours, and I only put 1 coat of epoxy on this. I wasn't too worried about getting a great coat on the bottom because I'm going to do another coat. So it's got 1 coat, which is nice, or it's enough. Now I'm sanding that top. So like I said earlier, I should have just left the little piece that was hanging because I could sand it off after I did my epoxy, which I'm doing now, and cleaning up the rim. So I'm going to go ahead and just move forward with that. And then when that's done, I came up with another thing that I wanted to do, and I'll show you that in a minute. So I'm hyper speeding this up for you because you don't need to see it in slow motion or even real time. So you can see I have like a silver layer up at the top, or the silver cup up at the top. That's what I'm looking for, so that the epoxy will seal to the cup. Wipe it down with 91% alcohol. And then this is when I decided that I wanted to put a jump ring on. And I've done this in one of my other videos. Oh, sorry. No, I'm going to put gold striping on. Sorry. So yeah, that's the next step. Is I cut out these gold strips out of this brushed gold vinyl, and the measurements were the cup length, which is I always go long, so it's probably like 10 inches by 0.2, and I'm gonna do pin striping up at the top, and then I'm gonna do it at the bottom. And so at the top of the bag was a little like glitter strip. The orange is just a slightly different color, and it had glitter on there. So I took the gold stripe and I put it above. Obviously you can do whatever you want based on your bag or whatever you have, but that's what I decided to do. So I'm going to get this pin striping down at the bottom, and there's like a little spot at the bottom where I needed to sand and it didn't, like the glitter was poking up. So I took my little rotary tool and I sanded that out because I could see the bump through the vinyl, and that bothered me a lot. So I sanded it with my tool and made it nice and smooth, wiped it with 91% alcohol so that it'll stick and get all that debris off too. You don't want all that dust to be collected underneath your pinstriping, because you're going to see that, and then your pinstriping is not going to stick either. All right, so this is the point where I decided that I wanted to add a jump ring to this cup. I've done this before, and I think it's a really cute touch. So I use a jump ring from a keychain ring, and this is the reason why I'm using this, because it's gold tone, and I don't really have jump rings big enough. My jewelry jump rings aren't big enough, so that's why I decided to use this. I have a ton of these keychain rings, so I'm not losing out. All right, so I take my rotary tool, and I just kind of gouge out the epoxy a little bit and make a well to sit the jump ring in. Make sure you put the open end of the jump ring in, like, towards the cup. And I messed up, and I thought I did, but I didn't. But it's not a big deal. But it's just better so that you don't have to worry about it like opening up for whatever reason in the future. So I take my pliers, I put a dab of UV resin into that well, and I hold the jump ring on with the pliers, and I use my little light to start to cure the UV resin so that it stays there. And it only takes about a minute. Like, I put it on there for a minute. I didn't show you the whole minute. Then I come in with another dab of glue on top of the jump ring to make sure that it's nice and secure before I go in to do my first coat of epoxy, because I would be able to knock that off. I did that on the first time I ever put a jump ring on a cup. I knocked it off. So I let it cure outside for about 15 minutes, get it nice and cure. It's pretty secure, but I'm still going to be ginger around it when I do my epoxy. I don't want to bump it too hard, because I want to make sure that this layer of epoxy really seals that jump ring to the cup. And so I'm applying my epoxy, like, I stop the cup and I do it around the jump ring, and then I apply my epoxy to the rest of the cup. And it only took one final coat to get this nice and smooth. I was super happy with that. So this is actually my last and final coat of epoxy. And I do go around the jump ring, and I actually put the epoxy on the jump ring as well, to make sure that, like, it's just nice and sealed and secure to the cup. And then if you get too much in the hole of the jump ring, you can take a Q-tip, and I do that later on, and just clean that out, put some 91% alcohol on it and clean the center out, but leave it like around the edge so that it kind of drips in, like, forms and molds and cures with the cup. And then this way the jump ring is nice and secure. Of course, if you drop it on concrete, it's going to probably fly off, but for the most part, when you hang any little trinkets or tassels or whatever, it's going to stay and it's not going to move. All right, after I'm done applying my epoxy, I'm going to torch for bubbles, let this turn, and then I'm going to be back with my final remarks. And here I am cleaning the inside of that jump ring with a Q-tip. And I forgot, here we go, install bottle lights. And once I'm done installing this, then I'll be back with my final remarks. All right, guys, this cup is done. So I absolutely love the way this came out from a dollar store gift bag. Like, how cute is that? And then the tassels the tassels and charms you can get from Amazon really cheap, or even Temu. They have like all kinds of, I think I actually got these charms from Temu. They came in a bag, and the tassels come in different colors. So you can choose whatever color matches, or you can even use these little tassel-y things to put on there. How about an initial, like the wooden letter initials? You can decorate, glitter, or whatever. So not only did that bag decorate a cup, it also decorated, which you saw me do in the video, this bottle. And I put this tassel on. I thought it would be cute. And here is the light in this bottle, and I spray painted the cap gold. So you can spray paint these. And I didn't show you doing that because with all of the things that I did, I thought the video was probably going to be really long. So I just wanted to tell you that I did spray paint this. Or you could use one of those gold leaf pens, the Deco Art gold leaf pens that I like and I've used in a lot of my other videos. All right, here's the final thing I made, which I didn't do a video on because, like I said, I wanted to keep this video to a minimum. But this is a wine bottle. I'm recycling this bottle. It was clear, And so I wrapped the paper around the extra paper, and I still have more left. This isn't even the end of it. Like, I still have this piece that I could wrap around something else. So I wrapped this around. I used this gold like rhinestone. They're pre-sticky. They're from the Dollar Tree. And then I've got the little tassel on here, and I have a light in this bottle as well. And I did spray paint this gold. All right, guys, so I am going to jump in real quick because I forgot to mention in the wine bottle, I did do glitter. And so I applied it using polyacrylic on the inside. I let it drain. And then I used that neon green glitter, which I'm going to post the color above. So I just wanted to say that because it wasn't a green bottle, it was a clear bottle, and I did glitter on the inside. And I realized that as I'm sitting outside editing my video that I thought I should probably mention that. Okay, let's continue. So that is what I got out of this Dollar Tree, or these are the things I got out of the Dollar Tree bag. I got a cup, a wine bottle, and a Jack Daniels bottle, all really cute for spring/summer. So guys, if you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, share, comment. I love to hear your feedback. All of those things help my channel to grow. Also, don't forget to check out my Facebook group, It's a Craft Thing. My Instagram, It's a Craft Thing. And don't forget, Glitter Makes It's GMI Superstars group where they have fun giveaways every Sunday. All right, that is it for this tutorial, guys. I will see you all next time. Bye.